Now we would be discussing about the art and architecture under Shatavahanas. Here I would be specifically talking about Amaravati School of Art, right? So before getting into this particular topic, I want you people to download at least 2 to 3 pictures from Amaravati School of Art in order to understand what I explain in better manner, right? So now we talk about this particular school of art, that is Amaravati School of Art, which is truly indigenous in nature, or truly Indian school of art, right? So what do you mean by this, right? So what is meant by Indian school of art? There are certain schools like that of Mathura school as well as Amaravati school. So all these two particular schools were indigenous in nature and truly Indian school with respect to art and architecture. Then we also talked about another school of art, that is Gandhara school of art, in detailed manner. So where I told you people that though it was having Indian touch, which was also influenced by the Indo, that is Greek school of art, especially in terms of drapery and other things. So that is the difference between truly Indian school and the Gandhara school of art, right? So with respect to this particular topic, that is Amaravati school of art, which is purely Indian in nature, and this school of art flourished in the region of eastern Deccan on the banks of the river Krishna and Godavari. Right? Again, this can be your preliminary question, whether it is which has flourished in eastern Deccan or which region, right? So this is one among the thing. And who were the patrons of this school of art, right? The Shatavahanas were patrons of this school of art. After them, the Ikshwaku dynasty also carried this school of art in 3rd century AD and 4th century AD. I would like to elaborate some more thing about this Ikshwaku dynasty. Right? These were the rulers who were Shaivites and who were ruling parts of modern day eastern Deccan, that is Amaravati, Nagarjunakonda and some other regions. And their capital was Vijayapuri. So all these are the small things that has to be remembered by you people. And when we talk about other aspect, the most important aspect is the major sites of this school of art, right? What were the major sites of this school of art? So the first and foremost site is Amaravati. Very important site. These are very important sites that I am talking about. Amaravati, Nagarjuna Konda, Gantashala, Goli, as well as Jaggaya Peta. So all these are very important with respect to very important sites with respect to this school of art, right? So these are the things that has to be remembered by you people. And what is the time frame of this particular school of art, right? So this school of art which flourished under Shatavahanas from 2nd century BC onwards, and which touched its matured state around 350 AD at the time of Ikshwakus, right? So from starting up to mature state, it took around 550 years. That is why, which has very major influence on all the other schools, especially of that of South India, right? Which has influenced many schools that we would be talking about, uh, right? So now we talk about the characteristics of this particular school of art, right? So you have to make sure that you remember just 3 to 4 points in order to answer the questions, right? So first and foremost thing is the use of white marble and green limestone, right? White marble is also called kaolin, right? So which was used to make the sculptures of Amaravati school of art. And the central character of this school of art is human figures, which was nature was given as a background to these human figures, where you would be able to see the expressions of human figures. That becomes very very important, right? The all the images were depicting which were depicted, which was talking about the physical and sensual expressions which were very prominent in nature, so which was showing the expression of love, sacrifice, courage, and all these things were the element of this particular school of art. So that is also one among the things that has to be remembered. And another most important aspect of this school of art was ornamentation, right? So the ornamentation was given utmost importance at this particular school of art, especially in terms of ornamentation of humans, right, using chain, bracelet and other things, right? So those were the things which were clearly depicted. So that is one among the things that has to be remembered. And another most important thing is the when you talk about this Shatavahana art or Amaravati school of art, the legs of the humans were bit longer than other school of art. That is also one among the thing that has to be remembered by you people. So that was one among the unique aspect with respect to this particular school of art. So 3 to 4, just try to remember 3 to 4 points. That is use of white marbles, green limestone, and the central figure of this particular style of art was human, right? And love, compassion, devotion, sacrifice, all these things were expressed in their school of art. And human figures had long legs, and ornamentation was given utmost importance. So all these things becomes very very important from the point of your preliminary examination. Now we talk about the most important aspect. So the narrative of this particular school of art. What is the narrative? How this school of art started to develop, right? So Jataka stories or tales were used with respect to this school of art as a narrative, right? So what is meant by Jataka tales, right? Jataka tales are the stories from the life of Lord Buddha, right? Mahatma Buddha. So which were taken, the stories of from the life of Buddha were taken in segments with respect to this particular school of art. Especially when we talk about the Amaravati school, it's Amaravati area as a Amaravati site itself, which uh, talks about Lord Buddha taming the elephant. So that was the part of this Amaravati site. And when we talk about the other aspect, the most important aspect with respect to this particular school of art, that is Amaravati school of art, which act as a linking pin between the earlier school of art and the later school of art. Then what were the earlier school of art? That has to be kept in mind by you people, right? So the earlier school of art such as Sanchi, Barhat, Gaya, so all these were earlier school of art. And the later school of art, that is Pallava as well as Gupta, later Gupta's school of art, right? So this school of art, that is Amaravati school, acted as a linking pin between the earlier and later one. So that is one among the most important things that has to be remembered by you people, right, which acted as a linking pin. And now we talk about the influence of this particular school of art, that is Amaravati, right? This Amaravati school of art had a huge influence on different schools of art, especially other South Indian school of art, especially like that of Pallava school, and later schools such as later Cholas, and it also influenced the Sri Lanka or Ceylon in terms of the sculptures. It also influenced the Southeast Asian countries, almost most of the Southeast Asian countries with respect to the sculptures and the style of sculptures uh, with respect to art and architecture as a whole, right? So that is what the influence of this style of art, that is Amaravati school of art, is all about. And when we talk about the other most important aspect that has to be remembered by you people, this period, that is the entire period of post-Mauryan period, starting from 187 BC onwards up to 320 AD, that is setting up of Guptan dynasty. So this particular period for 5 centuries were the period of Chaityas, Viharas as well as Stupas. So that is one among the most important thing that you people have to remember for your examination point of view. This was the period of Chaityas, Viharas and Stupas, right? And when we talk about Chaityas, you people would be getting knowing that these stupas were made hugely in number on the Western Ghats as well as Eastern Ghats. So I have mentioned some of the names of the Chaityas while I was talking about the religious aspect under the Shatavahanas, right? I hope you people know the places. And now we talk about the structure of the Chaitya. When we talk about the structure of the Chaitya, right? So this is what the entrance is, right? So the entrance point, we call this region as Nave, right? Nave is a place where the monks assemble for the prayer. Is a place where the monks assemble for the prayer. And Islay, so this is the prayer path. This is what we call it as prayer path. And Chaitya. So Chaitya is at the center. So this is what Chaitya is, right? Chaitya is at the center. Chaitya is nothing but a Sanskrit word called Chitta, right? Which means Mount of Ashes. These sculptures which were built on the dead bodies is called as Chitta or Chaitya, right? So that is what this part in turn depicts. And Apse. So Apse is nothing but semicircular end of the cave. So this is what the semicircular end of the cave is called Apse, right? So this is also one among the thing that has to be remembered by you people, right? So this particular topic is very simple, where you have to remember about at least 8 to 10 points to score from this particular region.